Hi guys, and welcome back to the Video Game with Powers. I'm Jake, and in today's video, we are continuing our Marvel Dice Throne Missions campaign series, taking on the third mission that is on our player perk sheet. I will go ahead and link the previous mission I did where I played as Storm and took on the Morlock Massacre mission. For today's video, we are taking on the third mission, as I mentioned, called Sauron's Hunger, and I will be playing Psylocke. So let's go ahead and jump down to the table where we got everything set up, ready to go. All right, guys, so we're down here at the table where we have everything set up for our solo playthrough of our third mission called Sauron's Hunger. And real quick, before we dive into that, I just want to take an update, give you guys an update on our player perk sheet. So you can see here, we have completed both difficulty 1 missions, Ox, Nox, Nox, and Morlock Massacre, and have perfected them. And we're now moving into difficulty 2, taking on the Sauron's Hunger mission. For our perk points, we've earned a total of 6 perk points for perfecting both the level difficulty 1 missions. So we've done increase our starting health +1. At game start, a chosen enemy is inflicted with focus fire, and at game start, gain 1 momentum. So those are the perks that we have unlocked. All right, guys, let's go ahead and talk about the mission setup here. Starting off with our character that we're going to play is Psylocke. And I know this is something I've briefly done, but want to go a little bit more in depth with the characters that we're playing so you guys can get a good look at them. So let's take a look at Psylocke's board, starting up here in the top left-hand corner. So her lunge ability, which is going to be 3, 4, or 5 blades, are going to deal 5, 6, or 7 defendable damage. We have Devise right here, which is going to be a blade, a sigh, a mind, and a starlight. Deal 3 undefendable damage. If you did not use the manifest dice to activate the ability, gain 1 CP. Her manifest die ability. So Psylocke is going to get an additional die that I will roll as part of my first roll attempt during your offensive roll phase. If I can use this to increase my attack by half the roll value rounded up, or replace a die used during my offensive roll phase, all right? And that die is going to look just like this. So it's going to be more of a darker purple than the lighter pink dice that she has. We have Parry. So 2 blades, 2 mind, or 2 psi, and a starlight, gain agility and deal 7 defendable damage. We have her ultimate ability, Otherworlder, 6 starlight, gain agility, inflict paralyze, deal 11 damage. On the right hand side of our board, we have Stealth. So that is going to be a small straight, gain infiltration, it deals 6 defendable damage. Large straight, inflict paralyze, it deal 8 defendable damage. Paralysis, 2 blades and 2 mind, inflict paralysis and deal 6 defendable damage. We have Blade Dance, gain agility and infiltration, deal 6 undefendable damage. And then her defensive ability, Clandestine, roll 3 dice, deal 1 damage per blade. On a blade and mind, draw a card. On a blade and starlight, gain agility. So that is Psylocke's board right here. And let me place it so you guys should be able to see it. All right. Next, let's take a last thing, let's take a look at her leaflet right here. So you can see this is going to be her leaflet. The first one just talks about her special die and goes over that, which I've already discussed. Let's take a look at her status effects now. So she has Paralyze. So a player inflicted with this token cannot gain or inflict any status effect associated with any of their offensive abilities. When a player with this token concludes their roll phase, remove it. Agility. When a player with this token receives damage, they may spend it and roll 1 dice. If the outcome is 1 through 3, prevent half incoming damage rounded up. And last but not least, we have Infiltration. A player with this token may spend it and then choose a die roll by any player, including themselves. During their defensive roll attempt, the chosen die must be re-rolled. So that is her, that is basically her board and her leaflet right there with all the different statuses that we will be inflicting as the game moves along. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into the setup of our scenario here. And let me adjust my across this clock here. I just saw that real quick. And let's jump in. So we are starting with 45 health. We've got 2 CP. Let's get 4 cards from the top of the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I did already previously shuffle that. We've chosen a mission. We've dealt 3 allies face up. Let's take a look at our allies very quickly. So the first one we have is Wasp. So 2 momentum. Once per round during your roll phase, offensive kicker add 1 damage as an attack modifier. I can exhaust WAP to gain shield. My attack becomes undefendable. This is an attack modifier. All right, next we have Nightcrawler. He is a promo card. 1 momentum, recruit him to gain a shield. Once per round during my main phase, I can spend 2 momentum to take an additional move on the board, then deal 2 collateral damage to an enemy within melee range. I can exhaust him to gain a shield. All right. Last but not least, we saw him last time. We have Archangel, giving me an ability of 2 of one symbol, 3 of another. I gain range, gain flight, deal 6 defendable damage. I can exhaust him to gain an additional flight and inflict poison. All right. So those are my 3 allies. We put my pawn right here on the map, and now let's take a look at our mission. Well, crisis clock first, actually. So let's roll for the crisis clock. 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's the starting position. And then mission setup. So we have Sauron's Hunger. This is a boss fight, so it's going to be a double boss fight mission. Okay. Sauron is draining the life force of mutants in the Savage Lands. To create a distraction, he scared a Stegosaurus into a rampage. Stop the beast quickly so you can catch up to Sauron. So the Stegosaurus boss setup start with 25 health plus 15 per hero plus 3 per oppression token. So the boss health right here is going to be 40. Additional setup, place health tokens on the Great Tree right here equal to 30 health plus 20 per hero plus 4 per oppression token. So the tree here is going to start with 50 health. All right. Our main objective, get the Stegosaurus to stop rampaging, either by reducing its health to 0 or scaring it away by felling the Great Tree. Our bonus objective, the Great Tree is immune to everything except damage. All right. If the Great Tree reaches 0 health, it falls down, scaring the Stegosaurus away. Completing this objective also completes the main objective. So, dazing the Stegosaur. In the mission, plot tokens represent daze tokens. Attacking the Stegosaur will cause him to gain daze, weakening his attacks. Upon completion, if I fulfill the main objective, distribute 6 health and 3 momentum. The perfect reward, if your team completes the main objective by felling the Great Tree, distribute an additional 6 health and 3 momentum. So we want to fell the Great Tree right here. So that is going to be our objective, because again, we are trying to perfect every single mission as we move along. I've got my boost tile set up. Let's apply all of our perk points. So that's going to be 1 health to me. That is going to be 1 momentum. And then that is going to be a focus fire on an enemy, which is going to be the Stegosaurus. I believe that is everything we need to do for our setup. So we are ready to dive right in. I think the very first thing we're going to do is move here right next to the Great Tree to claim this boost tile for 1 CP, bringing me up to 3. Then I'll go into my hero phase, bringing me up to another CP and drawing 1 card. And we have a 6-it. All right, let's take a look at the other 4 cards we have in our hand. Right away, we got triple up. Ooh, I like to see that. Helping Hand, select one of your opponent's dice and force them to re-roll it. Deft Maneuver, and Clandestine 2, which is 2 CP, upgrading my defensive. Okay, well, I think right away I will sell Helping Hand and Deft Maneuver because my opponent does not have a hand. So I'll sell that for 1 CP and sell Helping Hand for another CP, bringing me up to 6 CP. And then I think what I'm going to do is play triple up here. So 2 CP to draw 3 cards. So 1, 2, draw 3 cards. 1, 2, and 3. And let's see what we get. We get Forced. If an opponent afflicted with Paralyze would gain a positive status effect as a result of activating an offensive ability, you gain it instead. Vegas Baby and Strong Will. Play only after being attacked. You may remove 1 agility token to prevent half the incoming damage rounded up. All right, well, I think right away we'll play Vegas Baby. I like how this is starting out. And we gain 5. That's going to round up to a 6. So I gain an additional 3 CP. 1, 2, 3, bringing me up to 7. I will spend 2 CP to upgrade my defense to go to Clandestine 2. So bringing me down to 5. I'm going to hold on to the rest of these right here. I will spend 1 momentum, however, and we will recruit Nightcrawler. So when I recruit him, I gain a shield, and those are his abilities right there. And I can also exhaust him to gain a shield. So let me gain 1 shield. All right, we need a new ally coming out. And what do we have? Dagger. All right, so 1 momentum. Once per round during your roll phase, spend 2 momentum. Your attack becomes undefendable, an attack modifier. I can exhaust her to gain a shield and add 2 damage when I spend that 2 momentum. Interesting. You know what I might do right away is I might, Ooh, okay. Let's just go ahead and roll some dice. So let me grab all of my dice here and let's roll some dice. Wow, 3 sixes right off the bat. Is that not crazy? Okay, so I mean, this is a 6, this is a 6, this 6 will go in the pocket here. And what do I have? Let's keep the 6s. Let's go my second roll phase. Let's go one more. Okay, so 5, 4, 6, 6. So I do have devise, which could give me 3 undefendable damage. I could add 3 to that to make it 6. But I think what I might do is use my 6, replace it with a 4. It really doesn't matter, actually. So use my manifest die here, and then I am going to play 6 it right here for 1 CP to change the value of one of my dice. And we'll turn this 5 to a 6. I got 4 6s, which is Blade Dance. So gain agility, gain infiltration, and deal 6 undefendable damage. So I'm going to hit this tree. So he is going down to 44 health on the tree. Okay, so we'll go into my main phase 2. And I don't want to do anything in my main phase 2. And let's roll some dice for our boss now. Let's see what he's got coming his way. All right. So first off, I need to put boosts in 1 and 2. So let me grab 2 boost tokens. So 1 boost token in 2, another boost token in 1, which there already is a boost token there. I don't know how I missed that. But we already got a boost token right there. You guys can see it. I guess maybe during setup, I think I accidentally put 1 under there just in case. But he has 3 oranges and he's going to do stomp. So multi-strike, range, and deal 4 undefendable damage. So we're going to go down to 42. All right. That is the conclusion of his phase. We'll move the crisis clock 1 spot and then bring it back up top to me. So I think I'm just going to move the next spot over into here. Get this boost token to gain 2 health, bringing me up to 44. All right, we'll gain a CP, and we will draw 1 card, which is bye-bye. Remove a status effect token from a chosen player. And let's roll some dice. All right, let's roll some dice. So we got a 3 with that. And do we have parry? Which I think we do. So 6, 2, 2, and 2 psi, which we do. All right, that is perfect. Look at that right there, just loading up in case I get damaged. So we have parry right away. So this is gain agility. The stack limit on this agility is 2. And then we are dealing 7 defendable damage. So 4 is going to knock him down to 40. And then 3 is going to bring him down to 37. All right, health on our great tree. That is going to be the end of my offensive roll phase. So let's go to the boss. All right, we are chopping away at this tree. Let's see what he does. Oof. We're going to do our first one, I believe. So let's go a 4 and a 2 first for these particular tokens. All right, 4 and a 2. And then we have goring hits. So boom, boom, and boom. So he is going to multi-strike, range, deal 17 defendable damage, reduce damage by 2 for each day's token. Woo-wee. So 17 defendable. Right away, what I'm gonna do is I will spend one of my agility tokens to roll a dice on a 1 through 3, which I get a 2. So on a 1 through 3, I can prevent half the incoming damage. So that is lovely, all right? So half of that gets prevented. So instead of 17, is it rounded up? It is rounded up. So 18, I would prevent 9 of it if I'm correct. And then I will spend my shield to prevent an additional 3. So I'm preventing 12 damage out of the 17, which means only 5 is going to hit me if I did my math correctly, bringing me down to 39, okay? And then I will get to roll my defensive ability. So 3 rolls right here. All right, I will deal 2 damage back for every blade, and then on a blade and a 6, I gain another agility. Look at that, guys. All right, I like that. So 4 damage is coming on our Stegosaurus. Now, the Stegosaurus will not get any dazed tokens, and actually he gets the focus fire is only when I attack. So focus fire is only when I attack, dazed tokens are only when I attack him. All right, so that is the conclusion of his offensive roll phase. My defensive roll phase will move the crisis clock. He needs to roll a dice and he'll gain 1 shield for each of the lightning bolt rolled, which he does not. So that is the conclusion of his turn. I think what I'm gonna do here is get a little bit of spicy. So I'm gonna move here to this spot right here, grabbing this boost token. So this gives me 3 momentum right off the bat. So that's 1, 2, and 3. All right. And then I keep this and put this on top of my health thing. So when he attacks, he's going to crit. Now, here we go. Once per round. So that was my movement phase. Let me go into the hero phase. So 1 CP and a card is what status effect. All right. Now I'm going to spend 2 momentum to activate Nightcrawler's ability here. So 2 momentum to activate his ability. So take an additional move on the board, then deal 2 collateral damage to an enemy within melee range. And I will exhaust him when using this ability to gain a shield as well. So that's a plus exhaust. So I will move right here, gain this evasive token. All right, so I gain an evasive token, and then I deal 2 collateral damage to the tree, so bringing him down to 35. I exhaust Nightcrawler by putting him back at the bottom of the deck here to gain another shield. So loading up on defense is kind of what I'm trying to do right now. Nothing in my hand. I like everything that I got. Do I want to spend a momentum to try and pick up Dagger? Dagger is going to make me spend more momentum, which I don't want. I think I'll save it for Wasp, maybe. We'll see. So let's roll some dice. All right. Let's roll some dice. And I just realized I could have added damage to that last attack. I always, I got to remember with her, I have that manifest die. So I'm not going to add that damage because I don't remember if I missed it or not. Let's roll everything. Okay, so 2 goes in here. And then we got 6. Woof. Let's go 4, 3. Let's keep 6, 4, 3. Reroll these 2. Keep the 2. Reroll the 4. And we have 1, 2. Okay, so we have parry again. Which why not? Let's do it again. Even though I'm going to be capped out on agility. I probably should have gone for something else, but okay. We have agility. So 7 defendable damage. Half of 2 is 1. So we're dealing 8 defendable damage is coming to our tree here. So 5 is going to bring him down to 30. 3 is going to bring him down to 27. Alrighty. And that is that. So we'll go into my second offensive roll phase and not do anything. And we're going into the boss phase. All right, so we need 5 and 6 for, so 5 and 6, the tile that I'm on. All right, and let's see what he activates. He activates nothing. All right, so 3 and a 6. Now I gotta see at the conclusion of the roll phase, if he attacks me, do I get that or do I get it right away? Let me check, let me get the rule book out here just a sec. Okay, so I guess regardless if he attacks or not, at the end of his phase, I reveal this tile. So remove 1 status effects token or from self or gain 1 momentum, which I will gain 1 momentum for doing so. All right, so he whiffs on his attack. He does nothing. We go to the next crisis phase. All right, perfect. And then back up top to me. So I think what I'm going to do is we'll go here. It's going to be crazy. We're going to go here, gain all these. So I get 2 health. And then we're going to put this boost token. So I'm at 41. All right, 41. I gain 2 health for that. All right. And now we're going to go into my hero phase. So 1 CP and 1 card. We get stealth and large straight, and we're going to equip that right away for 2 CP. So 1, 2. And I don't want to do anything else. So let's roll some dice. All right, let's roll some dice. I need to look for, ooh, actually, wait, before I roll dice, I take that back. I'm spending my 2 momentum to get Wasp. All right. So during my offensive roll phase, offensive kicker, add 1 damage. All right. And let's see who else we got coming out. Next is Jeff. Oh, lovely Jeff. Recruit, gain a shield. Once per round during a roll phase, spend 1 momentum to add 2 damage. I can exhaust him at that point in time to add an additional 2 damage. Ooh, I like that. I like that. All right. Now we're rolling some dice. Let's see what we get. Wow. Holy smokies. I think... I think it might actually be worth to try and get parry. Maximizing my damage. Let's go. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Perfect. Okay. So I have parry again. I'm maxed out on agility. That's 7 damage. Okay. I will use my manifest die. Half of that is 3. So now we're at 10. I gain an additional damage from Wasp. Okay. So that is 11 damage, and I can exhaust her for a shield. So that's 11 damage coming out to the tree here. So he's going down to 16. That was a really good roll for me. All right, that is going to be the end of my offensive roll phase, end of my second main phase, and we'll go back to the boss. All right, let's see what he's got. Double 6s. All right, double 6s right there. And he actually whiffs again, I think. Yep, because that needs that, and that. So he whiffs again. Wow. I got all this defensive stuff stacked up here for no reason. Let's see what I get over here. So I get 1 momentum, and then I'll use another momentum. All right, so 2 momentum coming my way. All right, back up to, oh, crisis clock. We do the crisis clock. So he will gain a shield. All right, so he gains a shield. I'm not gonna roll because it's rolling is just for daze tokens, and he has no daze tokens. So I think what we're gonna do is move, you know what, this might be crazy, but move here and grab all 3 of these boost tokens. I'm feeling cocky now. I'm feeling real cocky, and that might be my undoing. Let's gain a CP. Let's gain a die here. So devise 2, we're gonna go ahead and pop this out. Devise 2 and strong shield. All right, so that's gonna upgrade that for 2 CP. 1, 2, and let's just go ahead and roll some dice. All right, we got a 5, 6, 6. Man, geez Louise. Like it's, I don't know. I don't think, look, I think it might be better to just try and keep going for devise as long as I can get it. I mean, 1, 2, keep a 6. Reroll both of, oh, no, I wanted to keep that 4. Sorry, that was a 4. Keep the 4. 2, okay. Let's roll it one more time. And we get a 4. Perfect. All right, so look, I get what I want again. So I get parry. Agility is 7. This is gonna roll up to a 6, round up to a 6. 3 additional damage, 1 additional damage from Wasp. So that is, what was that, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 11 more damage coming out. So 0 down to 5. So 5 health left on our tree. Second main phase, not gonna do anything with that. Let's go straight to the boss phase here. And we get a 2 and a 1. So 1 and where was 2? 2's over here. All right. And he is doing Stomp. All right, so Stomp. 4 undefendable damage on a crit. He's inflicting 2 bleed. All right, so he will inflict 2 bleed on me for 4 undefendable damage. And let me do that. So that's 1. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4. So 37, down to 37. And I get all these crits. So transfer 1 status effect token or gain 2 momentum. I will gain 2 momentum. So that's 1, 2. Let's take a look at this next one. +1 and draw 1 card. All right, so +1 boost to me. I get to draw a card. We get parry 2. That's what I like to see, parry 2. All right, Crisis Clock. And then back up top in the movement phase, let's move here up and grab that. Okay. And then upkeep phase. So I have bleed. So I need to roll for bleed. So 2 dice. I'm gonna roll 2 dice for 2 bleed. And I believe if it's anything other than a 6, right? 1 through 4, they are dealt 1 damage. On a 5, 6, remove this token. All right, so I'll take 2 damage from bleed. So that's bringing me down to 35. All righty. And then I will gain a CP. I will draw a card. We get Paralysis 2 and Immobile. All right, so we're spending 2 CP right away and upgrading that. So 2 CP right away. All right, let's see what we got here. Remove all status effects. I don't want that. Remove a status effect token from a chosen player. You know, I'm actually pretty content right now with those bleeds. But let's play bye-bye. I might keep them in case I get something a little more dangerous. I feel like Sauron might be a little bit more dangerous. All right, let's go ahead and roll some dice. Whoa, 6. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Let's keep those. Oh, this is that's that. Really, I can just roll with that. I mean, that's 6 damage right there. I mean, let's keep that. All right, so let's keep that roll. Let's see if I can get anything else. Why not? 5 in a row. So that's a deal 7 defendable damage. Oop, and I messed all that up. So 7 defendable damage. I'm going to add 2 more to that because that's going to round up to a 4. So that is going to be 9 defendable damage, which is going to take this tree down to 0. So if the great tree reaches 0 health, it falls down, scaring the Stegosaurus away. So that is the completion of side number 1. So if you fulfill the main objective, distribute 6 health and 3 momentum. And then we perfected this for an additional 6 health and 3 momentum. So I'm going to give myself 12 health. So that's going to be 1. That's 12 health right there. And then I get 6 momentum, bringing me up to 10. 10 for that. All right. I guess this boost token goes away. I'm just going to remove it. Actually, I'll just keep it on there. Why not? Let's keep it interesting. I do believe it stays on there for the next round. All right, guys. Well, look, that is the completion of side number 1. Let's go ahead and flip it over to side number 2 and get cracking and fighting Sauron. All right, guys, so we are over here on the other side of our mat where we are going to be taking on the boss fight, Sauron. We can see right here. And Sauron says, I am the god in these lands, all right? Let's go ahead and knock out our boss fight setup. So I do have my pawn here on the map. Let's take a look at our crisis clock. Roll that. We're going 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, let's go ahead and do our boss specific setup. So we can see over here the boss fight. You find Sauron just as he's about to drain the life force of a mutant. Strength is the law of the jungle, he screeches. I'm not going to attempt to screech there. You cannot stop my hunger. So boss setup, he's going to start with 25 health, 15 health per hero, 3 per oppression tokens. So he's going to have a total of 40 health. Our main objective is reduce Sauron's health to 0, and you win upon completion. Sauron retreats and the mutant villagers are saved. Here are all the crisis abilities that we have down here. And then last but not least, guys, I have set up all of our boost tiles. And then let's take a look at Sauron's abilities. So we have Drain Life Force, which is going to be a multi-strike range. Opponent loses 1 CP, deal 9 defendable damage. When he crits, he will inflict dominance. Dive Bomb here, multi-strike range. Opponent loses 1 CP, deals 7 defendable damage. On a crit, inflict targeted. And Sly Strike, multi-strike melee. Opponent loses 1 CP, deal 4 undefendable damage. Crit, if an opponent loses any CP, add 2 damage to that. And his defense here is a ranged defense, and he's going to prevent 2 damage. So that should be everything for our scenario specific setup, our boss fight setup. And as you can see, we have, we're going into this with 47 health, 3 CP, 10 momentum. We got a couple upgrades here, and we still have Wasp. So let's jump right in, starting off with the movement phase. Again, guys, I want to try and deal as much damage as I possibly can. I got super lucky here with all of these different boost tokens. So I think what I'm going to do is just come over here with the 2. So let me get a +2 boost token over here. And then let's go into my phase here. So 1 CP, get a 4, and draw 1 card. Not this time. I'm feeling pretty good, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm feeling pretty good here because I do have a lot of tokens. Also I got to roll for bleed. Let me roll for bleed real quick. Okay, so I take 2 damage from bleed because I did not roll a 5 or 6. So I'm down to 45. Alrighty. I'm feeling pretty good because I got a lot of status effects. I have a lot of defensive status effects that can help prevent damage. I think what I'm going to do is sell Forced for 1 CP. Get rid of some of these cards in my hand. That's pretty good. I can prevent half that damage right away. And let's go with Parry. Let's spend 2 CP. So 1, 2. And upgrade Parry. I got a lot of upgrades as well. So I'm sitting pretty good right here. All right, let's go ahead and roll some dice. Wow. Okay, so we got 6, 6. This dice is going to be a 4, so 2 extra damage. Let's see if we can roll some of these 6s. We have 3 6s. Ooh, man. Should I risk it for 1 more 6? I don't have anything that can do damage. Oof. Let's do it. Why not? Risk it. Risk it for the biscuit. And we do not. Okay. So unfortunately, that is going to be a failed offensive roll phase. Actually not. I can do Strong Shield, which is gain 2 infiltration and 2 agility, but I'm maxed out on agility. Might as well. So replace this with this. So Strong Shield, gain 2 infiltration and 2 agility. I already have 1 infiltration, so my stack limit is 2. Stack limit is 2 agility for there, and that will be the conclusion of my offensive roll phase. Kind of disappointing there. Sorry, guys. All right, moving on to my hero phase part 2. I don't want to do anything with this hero phase part 2, and we are going to roll some dice here for Mr. Sauron. Okay, so a 5 and a 3 is where our boost tokens need to go. So we're going to go 5, and where is 3? Am I on 3? Yeah, I'm on 3. Okay, 5 and 3 for a boost token. And then let's see, he does have Drain Life Force. So, boom, boom, and boom. So opponent loses 1 CP, bringing me down to 2. He is going to deal 9 defendable damage, and he is going to crit and inflict dominance on me. All right. I'm going to play bye-bye right away for 2 CP to remove that dominance, so I will not be inflicted with that, bringing me down to 0, but we have 9 defendable damage. Let me roll my defense first. So let's roll my defense. What do we got? Okay, so on this and this, I can draw a card. On this, I deal 2 damage. This gives me nothing. I will spend a infiltration. So choose a die by any player during the defense roll. The chosen die must be re-rolled. So let's re-roll this. And we get a 3 again. Let me spend this infiltration one more time. And we get another damage. All right, so I will deal 2 damage for every blade. So 4 damage is coming back to him. And then on this and this, I get to draw a card. So let me apply this because I'm still got some tokens that I want to spend here as well. So 4 damage coming to him, bringing him down to 36. Okay, on this and this, like I mentioned, I get to draw a card. Shattered. Deal 2 damage as an isolated source of undefendable damage to opponent that is afflicted with paralyze. Okay. So that is my defensive roll. So he is still going to do 9 defendable damage to me. And I think what I'm going to do is spend one of my agility tokens. All right, roll a dice on a 1 through 3, prevent half the damage. I do have a 1. Now that is damage rounded up, so I will prevent 5. Okay, and I will spend my shield to prevent an additional 3, so he is only dealing 1 damage to me. So let me take this 1 damage, dropping me down to 44. All right, and then this boost token would flip over and I would gain the boost of it. So that is 1 card from my deck is Better Defense. Chosen player may perform additional roll attempt of up to 5 dice during their roll phase. Okay, I believe that is the conclusion of everything. We've done all of his. He was supposed to inflict dominance. Remember, I played bye-bye, got rid of that. I did my defense. I did agility to kind of get rid of that. And we are good. So last thing we need to do is our crisis clock here. So move our crisis clock on a hand. So he is going to gain a shield. All right, remove 2 random negative status effects from yourself. He has no negative status effects. And then we will go right back up top to me. So, I'm good on tokens right now. Let's go with the CP right here. So do this to gain 1 CP. Just like to have an abundance of CP. All right, we'll go into my hero phase, 1 CP, and draw a card. We have try again. You or a chosen teammate may reroll up to 2 dice. Perfect. I think I'm going to sell Shattered for 1 CP. I will sell... no, I'll just sell that for 1 CP. Bring me up to 3. And we're going to roll some dice. All right. Okay, so 3 is out here. We have 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. So that'd be 6 defendable damage. Large straight is going to be the biggest. I think I will keep, so I'll be able to deal 2 extra damage. Man, hers is tough to kind of plan of what I want to do. Let's keep the 1, 2, 3, let's see, 4, and then we have a 6. Ooh, that is parry. You know what? I might just stick with parry and keep stacking these agilities. So let's rock parry. So 2 of that, 2 of that, 2 of that. So gain 2 agility. I already have 1 agility. I'll gain another 1. Deal 7 defendable damage. I will use my manifest die to add 2 more damage to that because this was round up to 4. Take half of that. So that's going to be 9. we're gonna go 10, 11, and I'll spend this other boost token here for 12. So 12 defendable damage is coming to him. He is going to prevent 2 of it. All right, so 10. He's gonna use this shield to prevent 3 of it. And so only 7 is going to break through. And I also realized I forgot my bleed right here. So he will be down 6, will take him down to 30. That's going to be 29. All right, let me roll for bleed real quick because I did forget about that. Okay, so I take 2 damage from bleed, bringing me down to 42. I did also forget Wasp as well. So offensive kicker, I could add 1 damage as an attack modifier. So let me drop that down 1 more. Perfect. And I could have exhausted her to make that attack undefendable, which I think I'll actually do. So I can exhaust Wasp to gain a shield, and my attack becomes undefendable. So let me actually do that. So let me gain a shield. My attack would become undefendable, so he would not prevent the 2 damage. So that'd be an additional 2 more damage coming from him. And the Wasp would go at the bottom of the deck. Alrighty, I think I know who I'm grabbing next. So believe that is the full resolution of my offensive roll phase. His defense did not activate because I got rid of Wasp. And I think we are good. So we would go to my main phase 2. I'm going to spend 1 momentum. We are picking up Jeff. All right, we are grabbing Jeff here. So gain a shield once per round during my roll phase, spend 1 to add 2 damage. I can exhaust him at that point to add another 2 additional damage. So gain another shield, and let's draw a new ally. We have Nick Fury. So 2 momentum, gain a shield once per round during the crisis clock phase, spend 3, ignore the effect of a single crisis clock ability space for 1 turn, exhaust him to ignore the effects of a single crisis ability space for 1 turn. All right, love it, love it. And do I have anything in my hand? No, I got some good stuff in my hand right now. Okay, let's go to Sauron. Let's see what he is doing. So 4 and 4. I need 2 and where is 5? I'm on 4. Yep, I am on 4. Okay, and he blanks. Okay, so he does nothing. We'll go to the crisis clock. Roll 1 dice, gain 1 shield for each orange rolled, and he does gain a shield. Okay. Back over to the movement phase. I'm going to slide over here and grab this +3 token, grabbing me some extra damage. I do need a roll for bleed. Okay, we do have 1, so one of these bleed tokens will go away, but I will take 1 damage for that. Alrighty, go into my hero phase, 1 CP, 1 card, and we have double up. All right, I'm gonna play that right away. So 1 CP, let me get 2 cards, transference, and 1 more time. Okay, so transference and 1 more time. Ooh, you know what I might do? I might play that transference, transfer that bleed over to my guy Sauron here. So let's go 1, 2, play transference, put that bleed over on you, big dog, and you can have that. Additional roll, prevent 6 damage, remove all stats effects. Yeah, I like everything that I have right now. Okay, let's go ahead and roll some dice. All right, so 5 is going here. Ooh, we got double 6s. Oops. I think the 6s burn me, so I want to keep a 6 though. Let's keep a, well, I got 6, 5, 4, 3. What deals the most? I want to get a large straight. Actually, so I want to keep the 4 and the 3. And let's re-roll both of these. Ooh. Let's keep the 5. 1, 6, 5, 4, 3. Do I want to spend anything? Just gonna roll a tempo up to 5 dice. Let's do this. You or a chosen teammate may roll up to 2 dice. Can be the same time die twice. Spend 1 CP for that. Let's roll this bad boy twice. See if I can get a 2, 6, 4. Okay. I think we're just gonna go with 6, 5, 4, 3, which is gonna be our small straight stealth. Gain 2 infiltration, deal 6 defendable damage. So 2 infiltration. All right, 6 defendable damage. I am going to use my manifest die to add damage to that. So it's going to round up to a 6, giving me 3 damage, bringing me at 9. And then adding an additional 3, which is going to bring me up to 12. All right, I will spend 1 momentum to activate Jeff, and I will exhaust Jeff as well. So Jeff, spend 1 momentum to add 2 damage, exhaust Jeff to add an additional 2 damage. So 4 more damage is coming out, which is gonna bring me at 16, right? So I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, okay? So 16 defendable damage is coming out to Sauron. All right, he is gonna prevent 5 of that, 2 from his defendable, 2 from his defense, 3 from his shield. So 11 damage is coming on to this guy, bringing him down to 15. Alrighty, bringing him down to 15. We'll go into my second, main phase here. And I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna recruit Dagger. All right, we're gonna recruit Dagger for 1 momentum. So once per round during my roll phase, spend 2 momentum, my attack becomes undefendable. I can exhaust her to gain a shield and add 2 damage to that attack. So, and we get Domino as so 2 momentum, once per round during your roll phase, spend 1 momentum, reroll up to 2 of your dice, exhaust to gain a shield, reroll up to 4 of your dice instead. All right. We are going to Mr. Sauron over here. Upkeep for him. So he will take 1 damage from a bleed. Alrighty. And then let's roll some dice. Okay, 6 and a 5 for boost tokens. We need, I believe I'm on 6. Yep. 6 and 5. Perfect. Alrighty. And what is he popping with? Drain life force. All right, that is what he is doing. So opponent loses 1 CP. I have 0, so I'm good there. Deal 9 damage. 9 defendable damage coming my way. Let me go ahead and roll my defense first. Let's see what we want to do. Roll my defense first. Okay, so on this and this, I gain agility. This and this, I gain draw 1 card. Let's spend a infiltration, reroll this. Let's spend a second infiltration to reroll this. Still nothing. Okay, so let's do this. He takes 2 damage, and then on that, I draw a card. So we'll do the damage first. So 1, 2. And then I will draw a card. Twice as wild. Change the value of any 2 dice. Perfect. Love it. Okay. So we still have 9 defendable damage coming my way. I still have an evasive token that I have not used yet. But let's go ahead and use this agility right here. Use this agility. We'll roll a dice. Prevent half the damage. We do not prevent half the damage. Do I have... What is that? That's 1 CP. That's 1 CP. Okay. Think what I'll do is let's spend both these shields to prevent 6 of that damage. All right. That way only 3 is going to break through. So that's 1, 2, and 3. I'm happy about that because I want to save... that's 1 CP to prevent 6. This 1 CP, I can just spend my agility to automatically prevent half the damage. And that's kind of what I want to save there. Okay, so we have calculated his damage. Next thing we'll need to do is our crisis clock. So we're going to this I. Inflict paralyze and targeted on all heroes. Sheesh. Paralyze and targeted on all heroes. All right, that is rough. So back up top to me. So he's got 12. You know what? I might be able to just move here for 1, get a +1. If I can deal 12 damage to him in this turn, and let me make sure Paralyze, I think Paralyze is offensive roll phase. Cannot gain or inflict any status associated with any of their offensive abilities. Okay, that's what I figured. Cannot gain during any of our offensive abilities. Okay, let's gain 1 CP. Let's draw 1 card. Mind Altering. If you use the manifest die to increase your attack damage, heal for the same amount. Ooh. You know what I might do actually? Let's sell Better D for 1 CP. Bringing me up to 2. Oh man, I should have thought about this better. We're gonna play What Status Effects. Remove all status effects from a chosen player for 2 CP. It's a tough loss, but you know what? I think it's better than having to deal with Paralyze and a lot of this agility, because I might be able to get agility back. Let's go. I don't really need to worry about healing. I can sell that for 1 CP. Twice as wild. I need to find a way to get 3 CP. That's 1 CP. Let's do 2 CP and then Strong Will for 3 CP. All right, so 3 CP is coming out. So 1, 2, 3. All right. So now I can change the value of any 2 dice. That's going to be good. I can spend 2 momentum. My attack becomes undefendable, and I can exhaust her to add 2 damage. So really, I just need to find a way to get to 10 damage right here with this attack. Let's see what we got. Okay, 3 is coming out. All right, we get to 10 damage. I should be able to do this. So let me, yeah, okay. So boom, boom. And then I will just spend, well, let me finish the roll out first. 1, 2, okay. Let me spend my 3 CP, 1, 2, 3. 3 CP to play Twice as Wild. Change the value of any 2 of my dice. Okay, I'll change this to a 6. Change this to a 4 right there. We do have parry, so gain 2 agility. Boop, boop. Deal 7 defendable damage. I will use this as a manifest die to increase damage, so that's going to be an additional 3, giving me 10 damage. I will activate Dagger here and exhaust her, so 1, 2. So my attack does become undefendable. I'm exhausting her to gain a shield and add 2 damage to that as well. So gain a shield, add 2 more damage, so that is going to be 12 undefendable damage coming out to Mr. Sauron, which is going to drop his health all the way down to 0. And we are successful here in this boss fight of reducing Sauron down to 0. We have won. We are victorious. He retreats and the mutant villagers are saved. All right, guys, well, look, that concludes our mission number 3, Sauron's Hunger, where we are taking on Sauron. I did enjoy the fact that this one changed it up a little bit and we had 2 boss fights instead of a normal scenario mission and then a boss fight. I think that's a cool, unique change. I'm glad to see there's a little bit of variability here with some of these mission runs that you guys are doing. And we are successful in perfecting and completing our very first level 2 difficulty mission. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some of these perk points, and you will see in the next video, guys, what we have unlocked for our next mission. If you guys enjoyed this content, smash that like button, hit that notification bell, comment down in the box below. Have you guys taken on this challenge yet, and what did you think about it? And as always, guys, if you are not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe so we keep bringing you some more awesome content. All right, guys, have a great one. Bye.